Once again, a major manufacturing facility has become the center of some major fighting in Ukraine. A few months ago, it was the Azovstal Steel Plant in Mariupol, and today, in Severodonetsk, is the Azot Chemical Plant. This is a rough map of Severodonetsk. The red areas are held by the Russians, everything else by the Ukrainians, and this chunk here is the chemical plant. You can see the Russian advance kind of stopped on the outskirts of the plant, which makes sense. It's a tough place to clear, and more on that in a second. For a few weeks now, there's been a debate if the Ukrainian forces will try to hold their positions in the chemical plant or move west to friendly territory. To do that, they'd have to cross the Siverskyi Donets river in one of three places. But Axios, Al Jazeera, and others are reporting today that all three bridges have now been blown up, making that crossing quite a bit more challenging. I've seen estimates that around 500 residents are taking shelter in the plant, but just like at Azovstal, I don't think there's a really clear public picture of who all's there. To compare the two, the Azovstal Steel Plant was quite a bit bigger, about 7.5 square miles, compared to about 3.5 square miles for Azot. Azovstal had a handful of really big buildings you see here, whereas Azot is more smaller structures scattered throughout. There was also a sizable underground bunker complex, essentially, at Azovstal. There doesn't seem to be anything nearly that complex up at Azot. Both of these areas generally favor the defender. There's vantage points to track enemy movement, and if they do decide to push into the plant, countless areas they could be funneled directly into an ambush. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out, but if Russia decides to try to take the Azot plant by force, it'll likely resemble the Battle of Mariupol, with a heavy loss of life on both sides.